Welcome back. Let's shift our focus on Kogi State. I'm now being joined by the resident electoral commissioner, Hosseini Pai. He joins me from the state capital, Kogi. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on State of the Nation at this time. Tell us what you have been up to and what have you put in place towards the Kogi governorship elections expected in less than a month from now.
A lot, has been done, and I can say with all confidence and sincerity that we have really reached the advanced level of preparations. One of the aspects that is very important and crucial first is the engagement between INEC and stakeholders. And I'm happy to say that we have engaged the stakeholders at all the levels and on all aspects of the electoral process. We have held series of stakeholders meeting with the political parties, with the security agents, with the civil society, with the traditional rulers, and other critical stakeholders like the media. And at all the levels, we have informed and educated the stakeholders on what we in INEC are doing and what they as stakeholders are expected to do.
Tell us more about the card reader. Will you deploy them in this election?
Now, already we have told the stakeholders as part of this sensitization that yes, we are going to deploy card readers again against the rumors that we are not going to use the smart card readers for the governorship election. And so far, we have already configured or reconfigured these smart card readers that will be used in all our polling units and voting points to the particular, voting points and polling unit. And they are being charged so that we have about 24 days now to the election, and we want to prepare ahead of time and to make sure that these smart card readers are being rid of any possible, fault as we experienced in some of them during the general election.
And what is your advice to eligible voters on that day of elections?
Prospective voters come out with their permanent voters cards and conduct themselves in a peaceful manner to participate or in exercising their own franchise.
Many thanks indeed for your time and your thoughts, Hosseini Pai, Kogi State Rec. Now there is more. Kogi State goes into elections in less than a month now, with major contenders Prince Abubakar Audu of the APC, whom we reached on phone to see if he could grant us an interview, but he said he'll get back to us when he's ready. We also have Phillips Salau of the Labour Party, who was a deputy governor in Kogi State at some point under the PDP, but has since joined the Labour Party because it affords him the opportunity to aspire higher, and that's according to him. He says his vision is to rescue the state, and he intends to arrest mistrust in major ethnic groups and more. Take a listen.
I intend to, first of all, to arrest the state of when I say mutual mistrust among the major ethnic groups, because that is a very serious issue in the state as at now. People of different ethnic groups, they don't trust each other. There is perceived iniquity, unfairness, and all that we have to arrest quickly to make sure that whatever is due to any party, any section of the society is given, and that everybody will be treated equally, fairly, and equitably. I have to do that one quickly so that people can have confidence in the government, because as at now there's no confidence in the government. That has to be done. Then we'll look at our natural resources. We're endowed with strategic minerals, oil, coal, iron, limestone, and see how we can partner with investors so that our youths can be gainfully employed. And all that, there's a lot to be done.
Interesting views there. Well, in my second interview, the incumbent Idris Wada, he told me that with the achievements he has made so far in the state, the way forward is to consolidate on the gains and not to lose focus. Listen.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Kogi State, Mr. Idris Wada, I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on State of the Nation. What sector of your state economy would you consider the most viable and one that can woo investors?
That is agriculture. And have focused on agriculture over the last 3.5 years to promote it as a viable tool for economic transformation. And a lot of people are taking to farming in Kogi State. We are the highest cassava growing state in Nigeria. We are now a prominent rice growing state. This didn't happen before I came into office. So we've worked hard to make agriculture a noble profession, a noble and viable enterprise, and many of our people are taking to agriculture. So I see agriculture as the future economy of Kogi State.
Tell us what achievements you have recorded in the past 3 years.
In the past 3 years, I developed a concrete blueprint for transformation of Kogi State, focusing on agriculture, focusing on human capital development, that's health, education, focusing on infrastructure development. We are building a lot of roads, hospitals, schools, and also industrial development, leveraging on some of the solid mineral resources that we have as a state and our people as vehicles for economic and social transformation of our state.
A recent development in your state had to do with the teachers and their payment of salaries, which they're demanding for. How well have you handled this case?
Substantially, wages and salaries in our state, we have done very well. Because of the structure of education in Nigeria, money for teachers in the basic education comes from the federal government, from UBEC. In our state, it's about 1.3 billion a month, and we make sure that this money goes directly to our SUBEBs, the Basic Education Board, for payment of teacher salaries, and this we have done regularly. Now, in the past, we have had shortfalls in some of our allocation, and teachers were not fully paid their allowances and wages. And this is what we have applied to the federal government for, leveraging on the generosity of Mr. President, who has opened a window for a 20-year loan at 9% for states to clean out some of their wages liability.
But have you received your bailout package?
We haven't received. We have applied, which has basically been approved. We are providing some supporting documentation, and by the grace of God, very soon we'll get that and sort out the issue of teacher salaries in our state. But what I can tell you is that we have applied good faith, we have applied transparency and accountability in administering payment of salaries to our workers, both at the civil service, local government, and teachers. And we're very transparent.
Let's talk about security of your state. How well have you positioned Kogi State, knowing fully well that it's a confluent state, and as such, it's a nodal state that sees over 1 million people pass through your state on a yearly basis?
Security is our number one priority. As a government, security of life and property is number one agenda. Development comes when there is peace and security. So, and that is our focus here in Kogi State. I've worked very closely, very diligently with the security agencies in our state to ensure peace, tranquility, and stability and security in our state. Relatively, Kogi is a very peaceful state, and we have influx of people on a daily basis who come to settle in Kogi State. It's like Lagos. We have hundreds coming into Lagos every day. On a smaller scale, that's what's happening in Kogi State. So we have security challenges because 23 states in Nigeria have to pass through Kogi State when they are going north, south, or west. So it's a major challenge for us. Keep our finger on the button all the time to make sure that we are monitoring these people, make sure that troublemakers don't come to settle our state. So I want to commend the security agencies, particularly the Inspector General of Police, for the support he has been giving to us to ensure that the state is basically very peaceful.
One major problem relating to security that you face also is the issue of cattle rustling. Yes. How well are you positioned to resolve that issue?
We are experiencing some cattle rustling in the state, as well as friction between legitimate Fulani cattle rearers and our farmers. We developed a strategy of trying to reduce the nomadic life of Fulanis by we are carrying out a pilot program in Ajokuta local government with some missionaries, American missionaries, who have established a school, clinic. We provided them water, provided them title to land, more like a grazing reserve, provided boreholes to wet the grass, and clinic facilities for the Fulanis to settle down, put their children to school, and this grazing area is segmented into 5 areas. So as they consume the grass in one area, we are wetting the grass in the other area. So when the grass is exhausted here, we move them to the next block. They feed there, then to the next block. By the time you go the cycle, you are back to number 1, which would have now grown. So this reduces the movement of cattle up and down across people's farmland.
Let's talk about your elections on the 21st of November. How well are you positioned as a person running for governor and also as a party?
Well, this is a very critical election. It's a very important election, particularly for my party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP. I've been in government for 3.5 years. I've done a lot of work, some of which I enumerated to you earlier. And I believe that if given another opportunity for 4 years, I will consolidate on some of the achievements and move the achievements forward. Because when I came into government, I developed a blueprint using 23 best brains we could get in Kogi State of our people to develop a legitimate, homegrown agenda for transformation of our state, leveraging on natural resources and human capital available in the state. That transformation program is a 10-year program. My belief is that if I have 2 tenures of 4 years, would have done 8 years out of a transformation agenda of 10 years. And that would have brought the agenda to a sustainable level that whoever takes over from me will not depart from it.
You have an opposition. As a matter of fact, your strongest challenger would be in the person of Prince Audu Abubakar. He has got the support in the center, and you do not. How does this affect the equation for you?
My chances are very good because I have a solid record that I can advocate to the people and sell to our people. Yes, my main opponent, Alhaji Abubakar Audu, is a very experienced politician, very experienced, strong politician, and a good marketer of himself. But based on the record I have on ground and the experience people have of him when he was governor of the state. I'm confident that we will do well, we will succeed in the election. We are not taking anything for granted. Our people are prepared to work. We are orientating them to take this as a very critical election, sell our program. Let's focus on issues and not personalities, and focus on the interests of the people of Kogi State and the economy, the social framework of Kogi State, and an agenda that will move the state forward. So it's a choice between moving the state forward and moving the state backwards.
The time ticks towards the election where the voter is king. Until then, we will be watching from Kogi to Bayelsa to Akwa Ibom to Rivers and bring you the whole stories as they unfold, bridging the gap between the governors and the governed. This is State of the Nation. Bye for now.